Good evening and welcome to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Eric Farmer. Today is Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. And yes, summer is winding down quickly. Before you know it, it will be cold again. But yeah, today I saw the first few leaves on the aspen tree starting to turn yellow. So there's your sign. I'm starting to see some fall colors and getting a little rain today. So that's good news. It's been pretty dry. Finally, we get a little relief. Yeah, speaking of rain and relief, everybody's talking about the Super El Nino coming this winter. And yeah, I guess they're calling it the Godzilla El Nino. So, of course, that'll just mean a whole bunch of shit. California will be flooded. We probably won't get much snow here, but yeah, they're forecasting for quite a bit of snow in the Rocky Mountains, which is desperately needed. We could really use like a double snowfall year would be awesome. If we got like twice the average snowfall, and that would really help things out, man, with the whole Colorado River crisis going on. Just keeps getting worse and worse. I heard that I think like 50 million gallons or something like that of water evaporate from Lake Mead every single day. And like as the water gets lower and lower, it exponentially dries out, like a puddle. The lower it gets, the faster it disappears. Is kind of like how it works. The less water, surface you got, the faster it's gonna disappear. So yeah, it's a really bad situation down there, and a good double snowfall year would really, really be much needed relief for the whole system. But I know a lot of people are saying there's just no fixing it, man. It's especially for Lake Powell. They're saying that within 20 years, Lake Powell will be totally dried up. I think it's going to happen sooner than that. I mean, the whole weather pattern changes, and it don't seem like that's going to happen. We might get a really wet year here or there, but that happens, But the overall trend is not enough moisture to maintain two reservoirs in the Colorado system. And so, yeah, it's going to be bad news for everybody, man. What the heck? I can't read that. I don't know what's wrong with my... Senor Adam's Apple. What's happening? I don't know. There's something really weird going on with my TV and my computer. It's like it's all blurry and shit on my TV. But anyways, yeah, what the hell's going on this week? Lots of shit. Summer winding down. Yeah, but people are pissed, man. Americans aren't very happy right now, man. A lot of things that are going wrong. People are fed up with the whole flock camera situation, data center situation. It's getting bad, man. And then the people that are causing all this shit, they just don't care. I think it's way more than what they're telling us, what they want us to believe. I think there's definitely a lot of stuff that they're not telling us about what's going on with data centers. So I've heard some pretty outlandish conspiracy theories. Like they're just but there really is like a front. And they're using the data centers to collect water and power for their underground bunkers. It sounds crazy, right? It's just crazy enough to be true, though, right? I mean, nothing that I could learn about to be true that would really surprise me at this point. If I found out that that's really what's going on. Man, I don't know why I can't read that. How it goes. Man, I don't know why my TV's. I use my like flat screen TV as a monitor, but it's acting all weird today. I don't really want to mess with it too much. Like, I'm having a hard time reading the comments. Let's see. Let's do that. Jason S. Okay, yeah. It's going, man. Surviving. Just barely surviving these days, man. Thank God, thank goodness, man. Be able to feed myself and my dog. Yeah, man, things are bad. People are suffering and struggling, man. Agenda 2030 is coming real fast. It's already here. And it's just insane. And what can you say? The cost of living is just becoming impossible to live. It's just relentless, man. The prices just keep going up. Taxes, insurance. Those are the two things that really get me, man. The two things that I have to pay for that I fucking hate. It's just making life miserable, You can't do nothing. People can't do anything anymore except for go to work, put gas in their car, maybe eat a little bit if they're lucky. Surviving on freaking the bare minimum, put it that way, man. I mean, it's pretty sad what I got to eat every day, man. I just don't. My diet is just fucked because I got to just eat cheap or die. But yeah, we're doing our best. So we're having to, still enjoy life a little bit. But I think I go out once a week. On Wednesday, I go to the local brewery and have a couple beers, and that's about it. And it costs. I go on Wednesday because it's 50 cents off a beer on Wednesday. So instead of $6.50 for a pint of beer, it's only $6. So I save $1. That's how bad it is, man. But $6 for a beer, man. I remember when you would go out to the bars, you can get a beer for like $1.50. Those were the days. Now it's like, for a cheap beer is like $4 or $5. For the good beer that I like to drink, it's like $7 at most places. Hey guys, I suffer from PTSD. My great aunt was a victim of the Holocaust. Or the H word, I should say. She was turned into a. Oh man. Oh my God. That's ridiculous, man. Okay. Yeah, we can't talk about that kind of thing, man. They don't like us talking about the H word. There's a lot of H words we're not allowed to talk about, and that's one of them. I shouldn't have said that. I often don't think about what I'm saying, or what I'm reading. I got in trouble for making a video about that once. Got a strike. For some reason, they just don't want us talking about it, man. It's ridiculous, man. It really is. The people that run the world are so fucking childish. You can't say that. You're offending people. It's just so dumb. things that you're not allowed to talk about, but then they always changing. 1 minute you're not allowed to talk about it, the next minute you are. It's always changing what you're allowed to say here on the interwebs. Well, yeah, you remember when it all started out, right? 20 years ago when YouTube started out, and you could say whatever the fuck you wanted to say, man. They didn't care. But that was because they wanted to suck you into it, It was all planned out from the beginning. It's very clever how they done all this. We were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, about the shitification of the internet. And it was all planned out from the beginning, in my opinion. They knew what they were doing. They would get everybody all in on it, and then they would pull the rug out and start changing everything. It all started like around 2010. They really started changing things on YouTube. Man, it used to be really cool. You used to have your channel was so much better than it is now. You could customize your channel. You had friends, you could send private messages to each other. No more. They took all that shit away. Now your YouTube channel is like your prison cell. Everyone is exactly the same. There's no customization. It's just boring, white, like a prison cell. Even prisoners that can decorate their cells, I guess, but and then they just started changing all the rules. You can't say this, you can't say that. They started taking down a lot of the good videos. They're all gone now, man. A lot of the, videos that I used to like to watch about certain topics, like that thing that happened in September all them years ago. All those videos are gone now. If you look, there's very little on those subjects anymore. All these things that have happened in the 21st century. It was all the videos were there, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared, like right around the mid 2010s. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a fucking shit show going on there, man. I don't know what to say about it, man. People are getting really fed up with this bullshit, man. All the fucking surveillance state and fucking data centers, artificial intelligence, which is nothing intelligent about it at all. It's just worthless, really. I mean, it does a lot of good things. I mean, it's good at a lot of things, but it's not so good at most things. You can ask like 2 or 3 different AIs the same question, and they'll each give you a different answer. And if you point them out on being wrong, they, oh, you're right, I was wrong about that. Yeah. Allow me to correct myself. Yeah. And they're pointing out that these AIs are really they're there to like agree with you. They basically they're to tell you what you want to hear mostly. So you'll keep using it. I don't know. But another thing about AI is it's not profitable at all. It doesn't make any money whatsoever, but it just sucks money in. I figured one day it might turn a profit, but right now. But I think that's another thing, it's like another thing where they want to get everybody into it. And they have, it really fucks up people's brains, man. People can't think for themselves, man. They just ask AI for all the answers, and why should I think for myself when AI can just tell me what I want to know? And that's a big part of it. I think it's like just dumbing people down even more. And the smartphone and shit, man. That's really made people retarded, you know. The change in the world that the smartphone has brought is just, it's way, you know, most people don't ever think about it, but the world has changed like so much since the smartphone came, and it's really, really disturbing, man. I don't know. Most people don't even think about it though, man. It's just the way it is, right? They don't realize what we've really lost as a society. You know, basically, I was watching a video the other day. This guy was talking about that. You know how it's changed the whole world. You know how people have conversations, right? You know, if you're sitting there talking to somebody and you guys you like have a disagreement, right? Well, no, I think this is what happened, or this is what. Now they just pull out their phone and like, yeah, they can't agree to disagree, right? Someone has to win the argument. So I tell them, you know, just because it says it on your phone doesn't make it true, man. Yeah, lampshade or a bar of soap, man. Uh, really, you're not joking, huh? You're serious about that? I don't even know if all that even was true. You know, I don't believe anything that I don't see myself. I don't. You know, someone tell me all that shit, man. I don't fucking believe a word of it. Anything that they tell me that they taught me in school, anything they talk about on TV, in the news, history, I don't believe a fucking word of it. So I'm a fucking mess. Oh yeah, where's all my friends at tonight, man? They have just not been around, and I've been ghosted by a lot of my viewers, and it's sad. I know I probably said some shit to piss people off and run them off, or something that somebody else might have said on my channel. And people get hurt. People get butt hurt. Oh, I'm never gonna watch his live streams ever again. You know, sad. I miss these people, man. You know, the viewers I've had for years are just gone. It's the thought of, hey, Jorgen Becker, there's a friend. What's Scott here? What did I? Not much. We weren't really getting anywhere at this point. Just going over the same shit that we've been talking about for months and months. But yeah, something's got to give, right? Something's got to really change. Probably for the worst. I don't think anything's going to change for the better, but I think things are going to get a lot worse here. Super Dwayne Ski, what's happening? Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to Joe Dirt, man. Haven't seen him in about a month or so. Hope he's doing all right. You know, he has had medical issues in the past. I have a friend in Anne Frank. Who the fuck is Anne Frank? Let me look it up, man. I'm sure. I think we already looked her up once, right? Having a taco truck. Holy shit. I love taco trucks. Taco truck this Saturday. Oh, I missed it. Shell, yeah, you were eating tacos. Anyways. Let's see, Anne Frank. Anne Marie Frank was a German-born tiny hat diarist and H victim. Worldwide notability for keeping a diary. Her life hiding during the occupation of the Netherlands. Okay, yeah, I think I have heard of her vaguely. But yeah, what the hell is going on this week? Let's see. You can always look up news of the week. News. This. Not a lot happens in the summer. Of course, there's the U.S.-Iran war. Iranian military leader vows Tehran will not submit. U.S. prepares further economic hardship. What is it? Economic squeeze. Okay. Agree to the terms and policies. Oh, shit. Yeah, just the same bullshit, man. It's all part of the big fucking shit show. It's got some new golf clubs, but it's been too hot to use them. Oh no, that sucks. Yeah, it's no fun. Imagine it's no fun golfing when it's 100 degrees outside. Huh, that's weird. How come my fucking video is so grainy? It's all pixely and shit. I don't know. Maybe it's my camera. Who cares? But yeah, you guys seen Joe Dirt? I'm worried about him, man. If you see Joe Dirt, tell him to. But yeah, it's kind of a nice weekend here. It was pretty hot earlier, and then we had some thunderstorm come through. Nice rain shower. Forecasting rain all next week. So that'll be helpful, hopefully. Luckily, we've been pretty fortunate this summer. We haven't had any fires around here. Thank God. Anyways, I'd probably be better off if my house burnt down. What's hilarious, man? Ryan Z. Are you talking about the golf club thing? Have you heard of Caitlin Johnstone here on YouTube? What do you think of all the volcanoes and earthquakes in the world lately? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Since, there's certain technologies out there that they claim can possibly trigger that kind of shit, Is it possible? Of course, I think so. You know me, man. I believe all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah, let's just put it like I don't think it's possibly not all natural, but it's a great thing that even if they were doing that, it's so it's so easy to deny. Most people would never believe that humans are capable of creating something like that. So it's what they call plausible deniability, right? Just like weather control, which You know, I mean, I'm pretty convinced that they've been talking about it for ever, man. Since they've been manipulating the weather since like the 1800s, maybe even before that. But no, they totally deny it though, right? But they admitted that the military admitted that they caused it to rain in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, but they're not doing it now. We see all the shit that goes on in the sky. So yeah, I think there's a lot of shit going on that we just don't know about. Well, we know about it, but they'll never admit it. It's pretty disturbing. Have you guys had any earthquakes in Cali? I think I heard something about an earthquake in Cali. And definitely, I think there was one in Nevada. Caitlin Johnstone. What is this? Another tiny hat person? Reinzies is a little bit obsessed with the tiny hats. Let's see. I gotta look it up. I got my little look up. My look up machine here. I can just look up anything on YouTube. See, I didn't used to do that. But
for those that are listening in, this morning.
There's a search. The vast majority will believe these catastrophic events are natural. It caters to their end times prophetic BS. Yeah. That's very interesting. Caitlin Johnstone. Caitlin Johnstone. We all know the civilization is doomed, but they keep telling us everything's normal. Yeah, kind of like we were just talking about, huh? Our entire civilization is run by oligarchs and empire managers. Yep. It's kind of what's going on, man. Yeah, she looks like she's got some interesting videos here. But yeah, that's what's going on here, man. I think what we're seeing is that.
What radicalized you? What radicalized you? I don't know.
What radical? What we're seeing here is like the end of an empire here, basically. The death throes of the United States empire. And it's just deteriorating, and the powers that be and the corporations and the billionaires, they want to squeeze every little last cent out of this fucking population before they fucking do us all in. It's kind of like what we're seeing happening, right? They're squeezing, they're calling it a K-shaped economy, right? So the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And it's just, and there's no middle class anymore. It's either you're ungodlily wealthy or you're fucking destitute poor now. There's no middle class anymore. They've done away with that. Even if you're not making over $150,000 a year in America today, you're struggling. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. You know, this if we can live that long till the final end of the United States, most of us won't make it. There'll be, at some point there'll probably be, a CIVIL war. I'm afraid to say it. Do you think that AI is not going to understand what you just spelled? Yeah. I think, yeah, because, AI is way smarter than we are. Yeah, you think at some point, man, the people are going to get pushed. But, on the other hand, the people are so beaten down and just demoralized, that I don't think there's any fight in the American people whatsoever to push back. Sadly, but maybe I'm wrong. Title of the vid is "What Radicalized You?" Yeah, I heard that. The internet. He was radicalized online. That's what they're saying about a lot of these people, that they're setting up to, supposedly do all these heinous things, right? Like acts of domestic terrorism and, school pew-pews and things like that. And a lot of the narrative is always, yeah, he was radicalized on the internet. And he left a manifesto. Look, I got his manifesto right here. And he wrote everything. It's so stupid. It's just basically telling every one of these people, not everyone, but a lot of them, leave a manifesto. Like the guy that shot Charlie Kirk. I don't know what happened. Did he survive or what? I don't know. But the guy that supposedly shot Charlie Kirk, I've seen some interesting evidence on that. Let's just put it this way. I'm not totally convinced that Charlie Kirk is dead. He was just an actor playing a role. But now that they've killed off his character, he probably went and got plastic surgery, or, he moved to another place, started a whole new life with lots of money that they gave him to play the role. And I think that happens to a lot of people that we think are dead. Their character's dead. And I think some people have played multiple characters in their lives. Oh, that's crazy, man. That sounds like some crazy conspiracy shit right there, man. You're going to really make yourself look bad talking like that kind of crap. But yeah, like Mr. T getting shot in the ear. Oh, my ear. They got me right. Oh, I got blood on my hand. Where are my shoes? I can't find my shoes. I can't find my shoes. He shot me in the ear and my shoes got knocked off. Probably on a beach in Tel Aviv. I imagine they're already rebuilding Gaza, right? Making it the new beachfront Riviera for Israel. They leveled the whole joint. They're going to start rebuilding it. Isn't that what Trump even said that, man? It's going to be like the new Riviera. It's going to be wonderful. The new Gaza. I heard something about that, man. They're talking about making it all just posh for the Israeli people. It just makes me ill, man. Damn them to heck. Damn them to heck. Yeah, it's all such a shit show, man. It's like a dog and pony poop show, man. Can't believe any of it. It's just these people are ridiculous, man. The people that write soap operas are fucking not even that ridiculous. I mean, but most of the people just believe whatever the fuck they're told, man. That's unbelievable. I mean, most of the people I know in the real world, they believe everything they're told. So yeah, I don't even bother to argue with people anymore, you know. I don't even bother to try to educate them because I know they're just going to look at me like I'm crazy and roll their eyes. It's unbelievable, man. And that you know everything's so fucked up, but they don't want to believe the truth. They don't want to even hear it. It's just too damn disturbing to their precious little apple carts. No, I don't want to. You're a bad man. I don't want to hear what you say. Yeah. I've had some people actually act like that, man. You know, but that was back 15, 16 years ago when I first, you know, when you first wake up to the world, right? You want to go out and tell everybody you know, you want to. But then after a while, you realize they don't want to hear it. They don't care. You know, you'd be like, how can you not see? They just think you're crazy. It's really damn an interesting phenomenon. Because yeah, I think I really started waking up like right around 2010. What they call waking up, right? But, you know, I just started paying attention to what was going on in the world because so much shit was happening, right? So much shit had happened up to that point. And I learned a lot of shit even before then, you know, and I was starting to come around, you know. And then like the Gulf oil spill happened, you know, and then I really went down a rabbit hole. And that's when YouTube had all that shit on. And you could really go down a rabbit hole. Now there ain't no rabbit holes left on YouTube. It's all been taken down. I don't know. I haven't really looked, but you know, I haven't really looked for these subjects for a while, like I used to. Yesterday, they would just be on my feed, you know, and it would just seem like, wow, what a great platform, man. It's like it's all truthful. Everything is. You know, they're giving us all this information that we just can't get anywhere else. You know, it was like, you know, when I was a kid, we had like a thing called UHF TV. We had all these alternative channels and shit. And that was kind of like the internet when I was a kid. You know, it was like an alternative to the mainstream media, right? And then the internet came along, you know. But I think it's all been planned out for a long time, you know. I think they've had this technology. I don't know. It's one of my conspiracy theories, but I think high technology has been around way longer than they want us to believe. They just reset, and I think they've had high technology for tens of thousands of years, maybe. But they just hide it from most of the people, you know, like most people don't know about it. And then they do a reset and they tell a whole new group of people, a whole new bunch of bullshit and a whole new bunch of, you know, history, right? It's kind of like in the Matrix, and like in the Matrix, the 20th century gets repeated over and over and over. I think is what the story says. That, you know, whoever comes into it, they're told the same story that everybody else learned. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like basically, I think in the Matrix that the 21st century just keeps going on forever. Like the 21st, whatever time we're living in right now. It started off in the 20th century. Now it's into the 21st century. The world is cooked. Yeah, it's well done. Enjoy it while you can. If you can still have some fun in life, do it. Because, yeah, it ain't going to be much fun for much longer. Right? Yeah, literally everything we thought we knew was a fucking lie. You know, the whole history they told us that God wrote the Bible. And if you don't believe it, you're going to go to hell, boy. That's a good one, man. That's a really good way to get people to believe your bullshit. If you don't believe what it says in this book right here, you're going to burn in a lake of fire for eternity. No way, man. My God wouldn't do that, man. The God I believe in would not fucking cook people in a lake of fire for eternity. That sounds like something a human would do. A jealous God is a fucking human. Because my God isn't jealous, but the God of the Bible is. Hey, Eric Solveson, what's happening, man? What's good, man? Yeah, shit's cooked. How many more years do you think we got? I think we'll be lucky if we make it through 2026. But man, I feel bad for the younger generation and people that have children. Man, would not want to be raising kids today. Don't mess with my body, my brother. No, I don't mess with the Almighty, but my Almighty would not burn people in a lake of fire. Sorry, just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I can't even kill a fucking rat, let alone burn billions of people in a lake of fire. Come on. But maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe by saying that, I'm going to burn in a lake of fire. I might be one of them. I don't think so, though. I'm not really concerned about it, put it that way. But yeah, I just don't believe it, man. I don't believe the fucking Bible, man. It's there to keep people in line. Keep people. Because if you don't do what it says in this book, you're going to burn. Yeah. I mean, most of the stuff it says in the book is right. It's good. I've never read the Bible, but I've read some of it. And it's just too fucking hard to read for me, man. We'd all be lying to ourselves if we said that we never wondered how things could have been. Yeah, but I've tried reading the Bible, and it's just, I can't understand. It's just too hard to understand for me, man. It's just, the language is just too, I find it really, really boring. Repentance and asking for it allows you into the gates. Yeah, I mean, you can believe that if you want, man. I mean, I think it's good to repent, to, be forgiven. I don't know, man. If that's what you want to believe, man, it's all good, man. It doesn't bother me, man. Asking forgiveness from some invisible person that I can't see. And, you got to have faith too. Because you're never going to see God. You're never going to talk to God. You just got to believe that he's there. and he's listening to you. And somehow he will answer your prayers and he will forgive you. You know, because you piss him off with your sins, right? Your sins make God mad and he really wants to destroy you. But he will forgive you because Jesus. So I don't know. It's kind of like George Carlin on that. Like, I don't pray to God, I pray to Joe Pesci. And I worship the sun, but I don't pray to the sun. He's like, first of all, I worship the sun because I can see the sun. And that kind of helps on the credibility thing. So I don't know. Many people believe in aliens, though they've never seen one. Yeah. I got to really see something. Or, yeah. Even if I see something, man, it's still, nowadays, you can't even believe what you see. But that's hope, man. It would be nice if there's a go to heaven when you die. But I ain't going there. But anyways, yeah, we don't talk about religion too much, man. It tends to piss people off. People get real upset when you don't believe what they believe, you know. I believe the world was created by intelligence. Yes, it could be. It's definitely intelligence and creation. There can't be, you know, matter shows some sort of intelligence, you know, to create itself. I don't know. It's a lot of crazy stuff to think about, the big picture of reality and creation and where did it all come from. You know, some people believe in religion, some people believe in science, some people don't believe in anything. So some people believe you create your own reality. There's all kinds of crazy beliefs out there. But everybody believes that their religion is the right one, right? If there was one right religion, I mean, why is there so many religions that believe in different shit? Kind of like George Carlin said, God created different religions for different people. He created different rights for different people too. Your God-given rights. In this country, you have these rights. In this country, you have those rights. So those are your God-given rights. Some people have more God-given rights than others. Many people are feeling disgusted by the events happening around the world, but fail to realize how it became this way. Yeah, how the fuck did it become this way, man? It's always been this way, really. There's always been evil fuckers out there who want to destroy everything, or they want everything for themselves. They're greedy, they're evil, and they want to be worshipped by everybody else. They want to control everybody else. You know. Ken Rodman, what's happening, buddy? Yeah. Not religious, but I believe in God. Yeah, I agree with that. Because I just don't like religion, man. It's just control. It's a control mechanism, man. And they use fear. Religion uses fear to control people, especially Christianity. if you don't believe what this book says, you're going to hell. You know, I don't like that. I don't like that idea. I mean, everybody knows right from wrong. I don't need a book to tell me what's right and wrong. I know in my own heart what's right and what's wrong when I'm doing good and when I'm doing evil, right? Everybody knows that, man. It's your own conscience. How else could this perfect habitat exist? Yeah, it's really weird, you know. This Earth happened to evolve the way it did, and all the animals on it, and then the human evolved out of the animal kingdom. That's hard to believe too, man. Some people believe that we were aliens, man. Really, it's an interesting, very interesting theory. The whole Anunnaki thing, where they created humans to mine gold on Earth. Because they needed gold to save their planet. That's how that kind of like the Anunnaki story goes. And like it was told by like the Sumerians. And like these Anunnaki are like they're just like humans, but they're way more intelligent, and they live for a long time, like hundreds of thousands of years. It's an interesting story. I don't know. It's a cultural. I hear you. Anunnaki or Ashkenazi. Yeah, I've heard of those guys. Ashkenazi. We don't use that word here, man. It'll get us in trouble. Tend to believe in the latter. You know, everybody's right to their own belief, man. And if you get upset because of someone's belief, then fuck it. Because they don't believe the same thing you do. It's stupid. You know, if you, whatever makes you happy at the end of the day, you know, is fine. But yeah, that's most religion we've talked about here in a while. You know, I guess it's kind of an important thing to talk about sometimes. But no, whatever you believe in, man, God bless you. No pun intended. Let's see. Maybe I will. Ken said, what? I had a hard time reading my screen today, man. The Antichrist is alive and well on earth. Today, it's a lot of it, man. I think the Antichrist is not just one person. It's a whole movement. You know? It's the corporations. It's the freaking powers that be, the fucking billionaires. They hate Christ. They hate the concept of Christ, or whatever. But on the other hand, they like people to be under control. There would be peace on earth without them choosing. Yeah, there would be, if it wasn't for the greed of the few, the powerful, we wouldn't have all this fucking war, man, because they profit from it. And it's a good way to get rid of the population. And that's very important to them right now. Population control is very, very important. And that's why a lot of the problems we're having right now, man, it's pushing people to the brink, man. What's going on in the world, man? The economic situation. It's just people are having a hard time living. It's a few ruin it for the many. People like elongated muskrat. I heard somebody call him that recently. That elongated muskrat. Yeah, that fucking turd. He's a welfare queen, man. He got all of his wealth from government handouts. And he has the nerve to pretend to be the richest fucker on the planet. He's not. He plays the role of the richest fucking turd in the punch bowl. Hey, Davey boy, how you doing? Nice to see you. But someone's got to play the role of the richest turd in the punch bowl. And that's what elongated muskrat does. The world's first trillionaire. It didn't take him long to amass his $1 trillion. Now, how long will it take for him to earn his second trillion? And then his third trillion? In the meantime, the United States is what? 35 trillion in debt? The national debt? I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably around 35 trillion by now. I remember when I was a youngster, man, it was probably still in the billions. Let's see, what is the national debt right now? Something easy to look up. They have a whole clock on it. It keeps ticking. No, we want to go see U.S. national, but USN, and the first thing that comes up, U.S. national debt, 40. U.S. national debt has officially surpassed $40 trillion for the first time. This milestone is driven by decades of compounding budget deficits, recent tax cuts, rising defense and military spending, and soaring interest payments that now exceed $1 trillion annually. Oh my God. Jesus. It's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Let's see the debt clock. National debt. It's crazy. It's not even go. It won't take me to the site. USDebtClock.org. There it is. All those fucking numbers, man. It's ridiculous. It's just fucking so fucking ridiculous. I mean, who the fuck are we? Who the fuck do we owe all this money to? The Chinese. Oh, that's hilarious. The small hats are good to us. Yes, I agree, Ken. Dude, Gordon is such a fucking. He just likes to stir shit, don't he? He likes to create controversy, man. That guy loves controversy. A lot of people do, man. They just want to come in and stir up the shit and like make people pissed off at each other. But he can't help himself, man. He's probably lurking right now. Are you lurking out there, Gordon? Let yourself be known. Yep. Ken loves that drama. He's a drama queen. I think that's funny, man. When men become drama queens. Get a pile of insult from. Got a pile of insults from him last week in my comments from last stream. Really, man. Yeah. I mean, I've known about that guy for fucking probably at least almost 10 years. He's been, hanging around my chats. I don't know, how long have I been doing chats? Maybe not that, maybe 8 years. Dang, how the time flies. He gets the booze, yep. I watched him up and a 40 of vodka in the stream one night. Yeah, dude. You keep doing that, man. You ain't gonna be around much longer. That's like, consuming alcohol yourself to death. It's like, yeah. It's when you get to that point, you're gonna really have some bad problems. Your liver's gonna give out, your kidneys are gonna give out. You're gonna suffer and you're gonna fucking die. And if you quit drinking at that point, man, you go through the DTs. Oh, we're getting a little more thunderstorm this evening. Very nice. I don't know why my feed is so grainy. I don't know. Does it look grainy to you guys? All pixelated, kind of. This must be my crappy computer. But yeah, okay. The hell else is going on this week, man? Davey Boy says it looks good. Thank you. People are getting pissed with the FL cameras. And starting to really get people upset. I can't blame them, man. I mean, I don't like it either. It's just bullshit, man. Taking a picture of every fucking car that goes by. Had a few cut down around here. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame people, man. It's really, really like, it's like some fucker coming up to your bedroom window and fucking staring at you all night while you're sleeping, Or trying to hang out with your old lady or whatever, It's disgusting. But that's the way that's what they're doing now, man. They don't give a fuck. I hear on Halloween they're all coming down. That's what needs to happen, man. Just a big fucking mob of people that just don't give a fuck. We're going through this whole city and we're taking down every fucking one of them. And you ain't gonna stop us because we're all wearing costumes. You won't be able to fucking recognize anybody because it's Halloween and we're wearing costumes. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's those people that go out and do that, man. God bless them. You know, it takes a lot of courage because you're risking, you know, your freedom. You're risking a lot by doing that. And I think, you know, I've heard a lot of people talk about, you know, if somebody goes into court for that, there's a thing called jury nullification where the jury could just say, you know what, we're not going to prosecute this guy. But that's not going to happen. You know why? Because the court system is all fucking rigged. And they rigged the juries. I've seen it myself, man. They don't fuck around with, you know, the whole jury trial thing is just a big fucking scam now. They rigged the juries. I go to jury duty a lot, man. And I can just tell that the people that they're picking for the jury are plants. Because where I live, we get jury duty a lot. Like once a year, you got to go to jury duty where I live. Because a lot of people get in trouble up here because we have casinos. And the casinos bring a lot of people up from the city up into this used to be rural area. And now they get a lot of court cases because, you know, casinos. People drink and it's mostly DUIs. Almost every time I go down there, it's sort of fucking DUI. But yeah, I can tell, man. And they just love convicting people, man. If you ever look into the eyes of a fucking district attorney, you're never going to see no life in that motherfucker or a judge. You know, prosecutors, man, they're lifeless in their eyes, man. I looked at them, man. They're just like, they're just jonesing to ruin someone's life. They love it, man. They love nothing more than I think it gives them, you know, dopamine hits when they fucking send someone up the river for nothing. True Americans, the last of the freedom fighters. Yeah, there ain't much many of them, man. Most Americans are pathetic. I'm you know, sorry to say that, but most of the people I know are just gone, man. There's nothing left of them, man. They're just a shell of a human. You know, but yeah, I can see that's what this place does to people. We're just a vessel to make the wealthy wealthier, to make the wealthy people just a little more wealthy. That's all they care about. Where's my next $1 billion going to come from? Got to suck it out of the fucking population. You guys notice? Have you guys noticed everything that makes masculinity sacred, valor, honor, chivalry, true leadership is under siege? Hence feminism, which is powerful branch of fuck yeah. They've been fucking castrating the American male for fucking decades. Toxic masculinity, cultural appreciation. Yeah. It's fucked up, man. Yeah, it's really what they've done, the way that they've just warped people's minds with the media and shit, right? I heard now, like all the modern TV shows, it's all most of your white males in the new TV shows are all homosexuals. All the women are hanging around with black guys, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying that's just what they're pushing, into the mainstream media, on their new TV shows. It's either there's always homosexuality in there, and it's always the white dudes that are homosexuals, and the black guys are getting all the chicks. This is what they're pushing on people now. So yeah, it's definitely been a push for a long time to emasculate, right, the white male, to demonize the white male. To homosexualize the white male, to make it seem like that's fine. That's what every white man should be, a homosexual. It's disgusting, man. I don't care what anybody says, man. I don't have nothing against homosexual people, man, but just to keep putting it out there in the media, forcing it on children and shit is really fucked up, man. But that's the world we live in, man. You don't destroy a population without doing some fucking sick shit, man. Social engineering is working overtime to debase, demoralize, and dehumanize the entire population. Yeah, it's for damn sure. And the internet's a big part of it. It's all part of the plan. When they unleashed the internet on the population back in the 90s, they knew where it was going. They knew where it was headed. They had it all planned out. Everything going on today, man, has been planned for decades and decades and decades in the past. Come to find out, it's no coincidence that everybody has a fucking one of these things in their pocket, right? Even though mine doesn't work. I don't have a cell phone, but this is an iPod Touch. I just use it for listening to music and taking photographs. It's just a big brain mashing machine. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And they really just dumb the fuck down out of our population. So there's so many ways. The smartphone, all the technology. Generations now that have been raised on the internet, right? We have going into the second generation that grew up with the internet. And it's just gotten worse. They don't remember a world without the internet, without all these devices, without constantly having a phone scrolling in their hand. Well, let's see. The first cell phone came out, the first smartphone came out almost 20 years ago. So that's one generation. And then before that, it was like another 10, 15 years where people had flip phones. So like almost two generations have been raised now with mobile technology, right? And that's just changed the world so much, man. When I was a kid, there was a time when you were unreachable, and I still live that way. If I'm not home, you can't get a hold of me. You can call and leave a message. When I was a kid, we didn't even have answering machines. If someone wasn't home, you just couldn't get a hold of them. They engineered it to be addictive. dopamine hits that rewire. Yeah. Yep, exactly. And it's the people don't realize it because they, even people within my age and older, they don't even fucking care. They don't remember the world before the smartphone. They don't. They're just totally indoctrinated into the technology. They don't even feel nostalgic about the world before, before it was taken down by all this fucking shitty technology. Oh, first it was great, man. I started getting concerned with it maybe 2 or 3 years after the smartphone came out. And I remember going, I was working at Eldora. I remember going, there's a thing called the pump house where everybody would go in the morning before we went out and started running the ski lifts. And I walked in there one morning and I just noticed everybody was fucking looking at their phones. Nobody was talking, there's like 20, 30 people in this room. And very few of them were talking. Most of them were just scrolling on their phone. That was back in like maybe 2011, 2010. So a few short years after the smartphone came out. Because when it first came out, it took a while for people to adopt it, maybe 2, 3, 4 years before they gave up their flip phone and got a smartphone. A lot of them just went out right away and got a smartphone. But yeah, now you find out it was all done on purpose to part of the control and dumbing down. They knew exactly what effect it would have on people. Yeah. How long have I going here? Can't even see how long I've been going on this live stream. Weird. I don't know what's wrong with my shit. I got to reset everything. Man, this weed they sell at the dispensaries is just fucking garbage. And they charge you top dollar for shitty fucking weed. Yep, I miss everything the way it used to be. We had better weed back in the day. But yeah, I'm just an old geezer, man. I don't know. But I remember that shit. A lot of people don't fucking, they've erased that part of their mind. It doesn't exist anymore. And to a lot of the younger generations, they never knew a world without it. But yeah, it's taken away a lot of our social, the way people interact with each other. When you go into a room full of people and nobody's communicating with each other, they're all just looking at their phones. Fucking hate that shit, man. I'm so sick of it. If I owned a business like that, I would say no cell phones allowed. If I owned a bar or something, be a rule. No cell phones in my bar. You're going to talk to people. You're going to socialize. That's why I would never own a bar, because I guess that would probably be illegal. But maybe not. I know Taylor Swift wouldn't allow cell phones at her wedding. Taylor Swift could get away with it. Why can't I? Because I'm not a billionaire. I can sell out. Who was hired by the fucking powers that be to, what's the word I'm looking for? Corrupt young females Basically, that's what Taylor Swift's job is to corrupt young females. And she became a billionaire at it. But she wouldn't allow cell phones at her wedding. Fuck no. What does that tell you? She made everybody that went to the wedding sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. One thing about it being legal is all the strains that become available. Yeah. But it's just, they're not any good. They just barely give you a little bud, and then it's just not the same weed I remember smoking before legal. It's not really legal, man. It's not. It's quasi-legal, I like to say. If it was legal, they would just leave us the fuck alone. And you could grow, you could have your whole backyard full of weed plants if you wanted to. And you could grow as much as you wanted to. And you could possess as much as you wanted to, right? But here in Colorado, you're only allowed to have 3 plants. Or 2, I think you're only allowed, you have 1 vegging and 1 flowering, or whatever. And you're only allowed to have 1 ounce of smokable weed. How is that fucking legal? It's not. That's still under control. If it was legal, you would be able to grow and possess as much as you want. So it's not legal. But you know, I'll give this comparison. You can have as much alcohol as you fucking want, you know? They don't put a limit on how much alcohol you're allowed to have in your house. I could have my whole house packed from floor to ceiling with the most dangerous drug in the world, in my opinion, alcohol, but I can only have 1 ounce of weed. And weed is not dangerous. Alcohol is dangerous. You know, it's just always been, you know why it's illegal is because it's a powerful plant and they can't control it. Anybody can grow it themselves. And they don't like that. So that's why they limit how much you can have and how much you can grow. And you're not allowed to grow outside. You have to grow inside. And they have to inspect your grow. They have to inspect your whole operation. Otherwise, it's illegal. If you're going to grow weed here in your own house, you're only allowed to grow 2 plants, and you have to have inspected. Maybe it's 3. Maybe you have to have 2 vegging and 1 flowering, and you got to have the government come in and inspect your shit. Otherwise, it's not legal. So don't tell me that cannabis is legal. It's not. They just did what they did so they could make a bunch of money off it. That's it. It's the only reason why they fucking decriminalized it to a point. They didn't totally decriminalize it. They decriminalized it to a point that they can make a shit ton of money. Because, you know, if you buy some weed here, if you buy like $30 worth of weed, you're going to pay like $40. You're going to pay like $10 in taxes on that $30 worth of weed you bought. That's how much money they make off of it. They make way more money off weed than they do off alcohol. Fucking scumbags. So when people tell me that weed is legal, it's not really. If you really think about it, it's not. And plus, also, still illegal on a federal scale. It's just retarded, man. Really kind of irritates me. that nothing should be illegal, man, in my opinion, as far as drugs go. You know, I feel the way I see it, you know, if somebody wants to kill themselves by taking drugs, it's their own business, man. Who are we to tell them not to do that? Was it the new Gov? I imagine some people say that cannabis is really, really hard to genetically modify. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that the weed it doesn't give me the same joy that it used to give me. Put it that way. Maybe just because I'm just too fucking old now. But there's something much different about it. Yeah, it's not. It seems more dead. But the weed used to seem more alive. Made you feel more alive. I don't know what the thing is about it, but there's something about it that just makes me like everything else in the world today. It just the punch is gone. I don't get excited about it anymore. You know, I smoke very little weed anymore. No, they used to smoke a lot of weed. But now it's just it doesn't make me happy anymore, really. But I just feel kind of disappointed. It's not the feeling I was hoping for when I smoke weed now. Something about it. Yeah, it could be genetically modified. It's a possibility. Man, I can't even see how long this live stream has been going. You know, I started at around 6:30, so shit, almost an hour and a half. You're making me want to smoke weed. 90s seeds are the way to go. Yeah, you could get 90 seeds still. It's crazy. It's like 30-year-old seeds. They still grow. Yeah, because now, I don't know, they just clone plants. And if you clone a plant so many times, it loses its genetics. You know, it just becomes like, see, I'm sure that seeds will last a long time. That's how life proliferates, man. Everything goes bad. So where plants can't grow, the seeds will survive for decades and decades. And then when the conditions become right again, they grow. That's how life continues on Earth, right? Supposedly, you know, who knows? Yeah. I used to love growing weed, man. Not that I've ever done it. No, I only did it when I was a kid. Yeah. My parents' house. I grew some at my uncle's house. Those were the days. I grew some plants that were like the size of trees. Well, they weren't very good to smoke. So much shit in the modern world. Yeah. Weaponized. Yep. Just a fucking food supply. Always like skunk and yeah, that's all we had. we just had we had like Colombian and indica. That's it. Those were the two kinds of weed we had back in the day. It wasn't all these fucking stupid strains that they have now. All these fucking stupid names. I hate it. You go into a dispensary and they have these stupid fucking names that they Girl Scout cookies. All these fucking just annoying fucking names that they think are clever. And every time you go in there, they have all changed. There's no continuity. You can't get the same thing you got that you liked before. No, there's a whole new bunch of stupid names of weeds that people think are clever. It's fucking annoying, man. Like, why do they have to keep coming up with all these stupid fucking names for all these weed, man? You know? Grow the fuck up, people. Quit calling fucking stupid fucking shit, man. Gummy bears. They call some weed gummy bear. Get the fuck out of here. Grow the fuck up, man. I'm telling people that sell weed to fucking grow up. Your goddamn stupid names that you give your strains of weed. It really is stupid. You know, because all we had back in the day was indica and sativa. Remember the brown weed from Mexico? Yeah. I used to love that shit. That's all I used to get when I was a kid. It was all mixed with gasoline and other chemicals. Man, it was awesome. AKA dirt brickweed, we used to call it, man. It was full of seeds. Like one bud like that would have like 500 seeds in it. Oh shit, I made the 666 sign, didn't I? My bad. Yeah. Nowadays, you had indica and Indo and I can't read that word, man. You had Indo or stress. Man. Yeah, I remember that Indo back in then. You'd smoke a fucking one hit of that shit and you'd be like, ooh wee. Man, he'd be like Towley. I'm so fucking high right now. Oh my God. Everybody's looking at me. I know they are. Holy shit. Everybody knows I'm fucking high as fuck right now. I used to like to smoke weed on my way to school, man. When I was in junior high. Fuck, I'd walk in there. I'd be so paranoid. Everybody knows I'm high right now, man. I'm so fucking high. And then one time it was really bad. I went up and I was like opening up my locker. I was just getting ready to go to my first period class. I was fucking high as fuck. And this girl walked up. She's like, have you been smoking pot? I'm like, no. She's like, well, you sure fucking smell like it. Oh, man, I was fucked after that. But no, I went to class and I got through it. You're just sitting in class fucking high as fuck. Everybody knows I'm high right now, man. Everybody knows. Teacher knows. Everybody knows. But they can't prove it. But yeah, that one fucked me up that time, man. You've been smoking pot? You sure smell like pot. Oh, no. I'm fucked. I'm gonna get fucking crucified. Oh, that was fun though, man. Looking back at it. But you know, my mom was a pot smoker. So I would just steal weed from her. It was easy. She would just leave weed laying all over the house, man. a lot of times there would be just like a big old roach in the ashtray. I'll just grab it and freaking bring it with me on the way to school, smoke it with my friends on the way to school. Dude, I got this roach, man. It's huge. All right. Remember that when I was like in like the 9th grade, man, there was not even that, even like for a lot of my middle school years, there was always people selling joints at school. You can make a lot of money selling joints. Kids will be lining up to buy fucking joints. He's selling like $2 a joint. And he would have like a line going around the corner, man, in like this little alley, like right across the street from the school. There was like a walkway. It went from like one street to the other, like in between some houses, but it was like a public walkway. And the kid would just sit right there and fucking sell joints. He'd probably sell like a couple hundred joints every morning before school. Those were the days, man. And yeah, that weed would get you stoned, man. Not like this fucking bullshit dispensary weed they got now, where you're like fucking walking through school going, oh, I'm so high right now. I'm sitting in class. Oh my God. Everybody must know I'm high right now. But I never got in trouble for it. I never really got in trouble for being high at school. It was fun though. But I wasn't the only one, man. Obviously. Well, that kid would sell every single joint he had every morning before school started. I swear to God. We just sit there and like, all right, I'm all out of joints. Oh, there's a bunch of kids that couldn't get buy a joint. You probably made $100, $200. Back in the 1980s. Anyways, yeah, that's about it, man. It's like this chat is about over. We're gonna wrap it up, man. Appreciate everybody hanging out. As always, good to see all my friends here tonight. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week.